Good evening. As you can see behind me, that is the Congressional Building. That's where Congress is not doing their job. I want to know, what is your job? I've been watching the hearings in the Senate for days. It's sickening. It really is. Their job is not to try to impeach a president that is being straightforward with the people of this country. He is bringing this country forward monetarily, securely, bringing out peace and unity. But they want him out. Why? Why do they want a good man out? My guess is they're hiding something. Now they keep coming up with this everything except the fact that this whole thing revolves around a phone call. And in that phone call, President Trump requested of the president of Ukraine, asking him, not telling him, not forcing, asking him if he would look into the corruption of a certain vice president and his son. Now, I was just watching Hannity on Fox, and he had on, I can't remember his name, but he had on a guest, and he was saying that during the Obama administration, while Joe was the vice president, each one of his children became millionaires. And one of them was involved in a construction company that he had no idea about construction, logistics, or anything about it. And there was a deal to build houses in Asia. And so I would imagine somehow, some way, there was money slid under the table to Joe Biden's, I believe it was his brother. Now, how come that wasn't brought up in these hearings? What Biden was doing that was literally against constitutional law. It's illegal to profit off of other countries or the United States while you're in office. It is. Now you can say, well, President Trump is doing it. He had those businesses long before he was elected president. So that's different. Biden began doing it during his vice presidency. And when President Trump asked politely and kindly, would you look into this corruption that's going on over there? After the regime was changed from a corrupt president to an incorrupt president that was looking to get rid of the corruption. Why wouldn't you ask? If you're looking to get rid of corruption in your own country, and the country that the corrupt person was involved in has now become uncorrupt, wouldn't you ask? Would you please help us in investigating this corruption that's going on from our country? I would. I surely would. And now they are screaming. Well, President Trump said we can't have any documents. We can't have any witnesses. All right. We're going to go to the phone call because that was the premise for the allegations that were put into play for this impeachment. Okay? Now, that's the primary reason that they're running this impeachment shenanigan, this sham. It's garbage. But why would a president present to the Congress, the House, which is run by Democrats, which have been trying to impeach him since the day he was inaugurated? Why? I have no idea why. Why not? Because they have shown they are corrupt from the beginning. They don't want the information to put out truthful information. They want to take what they can, cherry pick it, find anything they can, and turn it into a lie. And that's all I've heard Adam Schiff do every time he gets behind that podium and starts yakking. He lies. Well, there's a few things that he said that aren't lies, such as when he says he said, like an ex-president or a Supreme Court justice. That's the only time he doesn't lie, is when he's reading somebody else's statements. But everything else, I have heard not one inkling of proof, nothing, that President Trump has broken any law anywhere. And nobody in this sham has brought up anything about the Bidens, except that they're trying to say that President Trump was pressuring the Ukrainians to investigate Joe. They're saying that President Trump did that because Joe Biden is campaigning against President Trump. And President Trump has to rig the 2020 election in order to win. They have got to be completely lost in their own minds. President Trump is not going to get reelected from any kind of cheating. He's going to get reelected because he is doing. He is moving the country forward. He is fixing what Obama completely destroyed. And that, I believe, is why the Democrats are so hysterical about this. President Obama, he was turning a blind eye to everything that was corrupt in Washington. Why? Because he was just as corrupt as everyone else. And the House and the Senate, well, the House mostly, has been investigating Donald Trump, who has done absolutely nothing wrong, over a phone call. Why wasn't Hillary Clinton investigated in the same way over 4 people, including a diplomat, that were killed in Benghazi, Libya, because she insisted that that consulate remain open even after the British and the Red Cross left? They were the only ones there. Why? What was Clinton into? Drugs, money, laundering, weapons? What was it? I've got a feeling she's got money stashed somewhere. And gosh, let's think about it. The Clinton Foundation. That was worth a lot of money. I wonder where all that money came from. Nations that are unfriendly to the United States. Nations that are inhumane to their own people. But yet she was not investigated. Not like President Trump. And there are 4 dead bodies on her hands. What about the Attorney General, Eric Holder? What about him? And Fast and Furious, running guns over the Mexican border. Mexican people got killed with those guns. And so did an American border agent. Got killed with one of those guns. How come Holder wasn't held responsible? Like they say that President Trump needs to be held responsible. Why wasn't Obama held responsible? He was in on it. He knew what Biden was doing. He knew what Clinton was doing. He knew what everyone in Washington was doing. He had to. It was his job. Why wasn't he investigated? He seems to have just disappeared with his retirement money, which I believe is over $1 million a year. That should be snatched out from under him in a heartbeat. He doesn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve a dime of anything. He tried to destroy this country. And yet we have President Trump trying to build back this country of what Obama destroyed. And we have the Democrats trying to destroy a good man in the White House, rebuilding this country. And they don't care. What is their job? Is it their job to try to impeach a good man that's in the presidency? How about their own districts? Let's look at who the leader is. Oh, Nancy Pelosi. Gosh, I wonder where you come from. How about California? Is it more important to try to impeach a good man? Or is it more important that you're letting people in your district, in your county, in your state die from overdoses, die on the streets, lonely, homeless, nothing? Is that what your job is? That's what it seems to be. You haven't paid attention to your own states since you decided to impeach President Trump. You too, Schiff, you're from California. You've got the blood of those people on your hands too. The homeless, the addicts dying in the streets from diseases, living in sewage. And then you've got the New Yorkers. What are you doing for New York? Is crime down? Is the homeless problem down? What about illegal immigrants? Are you letting them come in, take over, be violent as they want? Is that what your job is? I'll tell you what my job is. My job is, when it comes around to election time, to vote you people out. Because all you're doing is destroying this country. Or trying to. Those of us that have a head on our shoulders, that have a heart that is driven by God's love, we know what the truth is. We live by the truth. And we are free because of the truth. We are trying to lift this country, to promote health, well-being, prosperity, security, not destroy with the evil that you, the Democrats, are trying to spread across this country. The people can see through what you're doing, which is nothing except destroying. The people in your districts are dying. from violence and whatever else is destroying them. What are you doing to help these people? Nothing. Nothing. And I say the job of every single human being on this planet is to love your brother, to help him, to uplift him, to help him get forward in life, to help when there's problems, no matter what the problem is, to help, to love, not to hate and destroy. And you Democrats, you say you're going to give everything to everybody. No, you're not. You're just using that as a lie just to get the vote so that if you do get voted in, you're going to take control over the lives of those people that you lied to and take everything you can from them. And if I was President Trump, if I was in his shoes, and you Democrats came to me wanting stuff, I would say absolutely not. You are so corrupt in your filth, you wouldn't get a thing. And that is why I believe President Trump isn't giving you a thing. That would be like pointing a gun at his head. He's not into suicide. He's into life, not death, not like you are. So that building behind me, that's where Congress is. That's the death chamber. At least that's what the Democrats want. The Republicans, those who have a backbone, please stand up to this garbage. We don't need to see them go to jail, go to prison, because I know if they don't change their heart, they're going to go straight to hell, and hell is not a nice place. And I believe it. I believe it because I know God. I have been with God, and He is with me right now. If you have a hard heart, change your heart. It's things are going to start happening. I can tell. I really can. By reading the Word, by knowing God, by just the feel of everything going on. It really, if you don't believe, it's time, because the end is near. And I'm not trying to be some kind of a conspiracy theorist. God says when the time ends, the time ends. And He's going to come like a thief in the night. And you ain't going to know. So be ready. Be ready. That's all I've got for now. Please pray for the president of this country, that God will protect him, put a shield around him, so that the evil of Washington, D.C. will not penetrate. And I ask that you pray for the police and military, that God will protect them and bring them home safely to their families and loved ones. I thank you for watching and listening to me rant. But this thing has just made me so mad. It really does. Because evil is trying to beat good, but it can't. Good will always prevail. Always. I'm William Ferguson. This is Common Sense.